Girl, Trysta Krick. Trysta, what's happening?
Just moving and shaking. I'm in New York. I'm going to go see Duke and Miami, and then I'm going to go see Villanova, UConn.
Okay, big time, Duke. Oh man, you haven't.
Harden, what? I see you stunting on him.
Just got a little lips product on today for the first time in a while.
Little, and this is, I assume, is all preps for your weekends at WFAN.
Yes, there's a one at Barclays, and then there's one at MSG. So we just pop over from 1 to 1, watch these Duke kids continue to be kids. Head out of there when Miami punches them in the mouth. Probably Duke will end up getting the win, and then I'll go see a real battle.
We might need KC, you could correct me if I'm wrong. We might need a report from Trysta on some of them kids at Duke, because I know this is going to be hard for you to believe, Trysta. Sacramento's going to be drafting high again next year, so
you don't say.
Yeah, we might have to keep our eye on what's happening there.
Let me ask you guys this: did you see Portland? What they're rolling out against Utah?
I know what they've been rolling out the last couple of games. And
they're
making sure. All right, they don't want any slip ups. They're making sure that we're not in that 10 spot.
This is the worst team. So I took Portland. So Portland played Utah in Utah. You could just call it Portland and bunny ears. Portland played Utah. I had Utah minus 6.5 first quarter, and I was like, man, 6.5. That feels like a lot. When I tell you this team was up 31-15, I watched this quarter. Portland in bunny ears went 1 for 12.
Oof,
and they didn't get a bucket until 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the quarter.
Nah,
they didn't get their second bucket until 6 minutes left in the quarter. They were missing airballing dunks. They were, when you just watch like a high school game or whatever, and you watch somebody shoot a jumper and you're like, nope. Like you just know, like, nope, that's not going in.
That's all.
That was how it was for them for like 2.5, 3 quarters. And then finally, I don't know what happened. They started making shots, but it was just Josh Hart out there. Poor Josh Hart. And just like guys you've never even heard of. Keljin Blevins?
No.
You made that up.
That's a made up name.
Yeah.
That's a 2K name. So anyway, we'll be drafting hopefully high as well.
And still, Portland's marching out names that Trysta Krick's making up. They've lost 6 in a row, and yet they're still higher than the Sacramento Kings are in the standings.
And those games have been by, on average, 30 points or more.
Tragic.
Yeah, that's rough.
We're still
that is rough. I know you were looking forward to Philly and Brooklyn. Did it live up to is it everything you dreamed of?
It was. It was. I bet on the game, obviously, as I do. That was like
what was the line on that one?
It was wild. It was Brooklyn plus 4.5. So okay. I bought the 0.5 point just to be safe, and I didn't even need it at all. I didn't need it after the first moment we were up in there. Didn't you guys think it was interesting that Kyrie might be like the perfect Batman to Ben Simmons as Robin? Like, we ride, if you're coming for Ben, then you're coming for all of us.
Yeah.
Like, he's our brother. He's not
love that
game. Same. And KD's like, we knew this was going to be personal. And like they said, it was like not about James, but they're like, we knew that the screams about Ben wouldn't be heard and the crowd would be quiet if we just beat him up. If like they were down by that much, they wouldn't have anything to say. And so that part was like really interesting. Kyrie having like a defensive game. Mm-hmm. You guys saw him strap Harden, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I loved that. I loved Harden, a frustrated Harden. I loved a post game go hang with Lil Baby and Travis Scott. I thought Travis Scott was canceled. Was he not?
No, he's not canceled. He had to.
He's paused.
He's paused. Some of that people kind of jumped off the deep end with Travis. Yeah. I mean, it's not
because of the festival.
Yeah. It's not like he tried to make those things. Like that wasn't his intent with having the festival. Some things happened, but yeah, I like it was like, oh, you got to wear that a little bit, but just like everything, people jumped out the window.
People don't understand accountability is not the same as being canceled.
Yeah, true.
You know, you got to wear it.
Trysta, I watched that game yesterday, and I've been saying Philly, they had a better chance now of winning an NBA championship than they did even last year with Ben Simmons there. And I was kind of touting them up. I kind of forgot about Brooklyn. And it's because, like our guy Will Z talked about, Kyrie and KD, they've only played 6 games together this year. And you forget what that looks like when those two are on the court. It is special. And they're both clicking. It's special. Where you gonna go? If you try to shut down KD, Kyrie gonna go off. If Kyrie go off, then KD, or you try to shut down Kyrie, KD's gonna go off. And don't let them both be cooking at some point. And they got Seth Curry now too. What you think about Brooklyn?
I think they're dangerous on top of the fact that Kai and KD can get theirs. Kai can be the 2. You see him. He's not even bringing the ball up. You've got Dragic bringing the ball up. You've got Patty Mills bringing the ball up. You have Seth Curry bringing the ball up. And so he can play that natural 2-guard position that he played when he was in Cleveland when they won that ring. He can play off ball. He can play on ball. Man, both of those guys in the first quarter, I want to say they both had like 11 or 12 points and were super, super efficient. If they weren't 100%, from the field in the first quarter, they were somewhere very close. And it was like, wow, these guys both might go for 40. And they could have if they wanted to. You could tell they sat down early. They took their foot off the gas. Kai started missing some jumpers. But like when they're clicking together and they've got Patty Mills, he can create his own shot.
Yep,
he can get it on the ISO. Dragic can get it on the ISO. Kai can. KD, of course, as we know, can. Like, that's a lot of guys that down the stretch can go and get you a bucket. Whereas there's not a lot of teams that have a guy that can get their own shot, that can get space and also move without the rock. And then you're incorporating probably Ben Simmons at the 4 or the 5 if you want to play small, or if you want to go big, you have Drummond there and play maybe Ben at the 4.
Let me ask both of you guys this real quick because I saw this come on my timeline yesterday. When he's on and he is clicking and he is just in his zone, Ken Shamrock, is Kyrie the closest thing to art that we've seen in basketball? Right? Like it's just beautiful music and motion when Kyrie is cooking. That doesn't mean he's the best or anything else like that. But I know for me, watching Kyrie, it is a thing of beauty when he's locked in.
Yeah, I think it's to me what I love about Kai is not all like the places that he can get his own shot on the court, but when you've busted your own ankles up like as much as I have, and you watch Kai in like highlights or like pre-games where he does those drills where he can basically look like a Jedi, he's almost flat or 45 degrees and his ankles are still, and the level that his ankle mobility and flexibility, I know that's like very nerdy, but that stuff is what makes him so shifty. That stuff is what makes him be able to do as much as he can. His handles, his footwork, the flexibility, and it's pretty. It's all so pretty. Like you watch guys and they do amazing stuff out there, but you're like, Kawhi Leonard, it's ugly. Like that's ugly stuff. Like, yeah, I know that they've compared their games like Jordan to Kawhi. That's not the same. The grace is not the same. Kyrie has grace on another level to me. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's gorgeous to watch. You're listening to D'Lo and Casey on ESPN 1320 KIFM West Sacramento, KRXQ HD2 Sacramento, an Odyssey station and driven by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, Odyssey Sports Betting Insider. Trysta Krick with us here. Yeah, like Kyrie is gorgeous. On the other side of the court, though, James Harden, ugly. Yeah. I don't love James Harden's game at all. Did what happened in Philly sour you on the 76ers at all?
I think it shows that they have bigger problems and bigger holes than maybe we thought when they were beating up on the Knicks and beating up on these lower level teams that we know aren't anything, you know? And so yeah, it does. Like, because the moment's going to get bright, and James looked phenomenal. in those first few games. And then you see like a real team with real pieces, bunch of bucket getters, as I said.
With the lights turned on.
When the lights, the lights were on too.
Mm-hmm.
He went back. I think he was 3 for 17. 3 for 17.
Ooh.
And you look at his shot chart and all of the places that he missed underneath the basket. He went 0 for 10 inside a 3-point. 0 for 10.
That's ridiculous.
Do you know the only other player to go 0 for 10 from 2 this year? Russell Westbrook.
Oh no,
okay, that wasn't.
Oh no,
I don't even know. Like, what'd that have to do with the conversation? I don't.
That's what we call a stray. That's what we call it.
Like Russ minding his own business, ain't bothering nobody, and Trysta just over here firing from a New York City hotel room at him.
But he was awful. And
I wonder how many people guessed it, by the way, when you asked that question out loud. I wonder how many people screamed at the Odyssey.
Like, Westbrook. Can't say that anymore. That's been banned.
That's right. You
can't say that anymore. We can't have jokes anymore without it being shaming.
That's right.
Without it being shaming.
It's shameful to go out, my man, for a rough season there in Los Angeles. But
what did you guys think? Did you think, oh boy, like the Sixers aren't close?
No, I didn't think that. I have this thing with James Harden. I can't explain it. I appreciate his game. It started years and years and years ago. I recognize how great he is, but my feeling has always been, y'all can get James Harden, but be careful what you wish for, because James Harden has led exactly no one to an NBA Finals. And if he's the guy who's going to get you over the top with Joel Embiid and this crew that you got there, plus you gave up a ton for him, I can absolutely see this team in the second round of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals. I just don't see them in the finals because I don't think James Harden is capable of playing under those lights. I love the deal for Brooklyn. I think the roster as a whole got stronger, and I'm still, I'm not, as my partner says, jumping out the window with this, but I'm still a believer that Ben Simmons is a solid basketball player, and he gets in there and integrates himself with Kyrie and KD. I think they got something special with Steph.
So you never jumped on to the Sixers like this.
No,
never.
No, not.
I
like the 76ers more before he got there.
Yeah, no. See, I wouldn't like that. I think they, and I'm not even really fazed by it yesterday because I know that could happen. Like they absolutely could fall on their flat on their face. I think they still can. They can make a run in the playoffs.
To the second round.
I think they can go further. I think they could
see the Nets in the first round, 2-7.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be something?
I'd really like, and this is where I'd really like Kyrie to play every playoff game.
I think he will. Mayor Eric Adams wants that more than he wants anything, I think. Kyrie's talking about having dinner with him and like how Eric Adams is his guy and how
time's running out.
Well, that's fine, but Canada don't care. Like they might have to get through Toronto. Like Canada's like, I don't care what y'all doing down there. You ain't. Not only are you not playing, you ain't coming.
No,
you wait there at home, and you'll see your friends when they get back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now I think Brooklyn without Kyrie is better than Toronto, but still, you never know.
Didn't they get beat up by Toronto a couple of days ago? Without Kyrie. Well, I don't think KD played either, but
yeah, I think these two, when they're both there together, it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens with the Bucks too. They don't look as dominant as they did last year. I think they're worse off, in fact, because they've got no Brook, no Connaughton, no PJ Tucker, no Dante DiVincenzo, who I know got injured in the first round, but he still played against the Heat. So they've got less depth, and then they added Grayson Allen. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. Giannis is on another level. But I think the Sixers thinking that this opens up the pathway for them to win a title when James is going to get like $50 million and there's not any other guys that can shoot the rock. Like you're seeing Tobias Harris, he's got to go. You're seeing George Nang, he's got like some issues 3-point wise. Danny Green's supposed to be a sniper. He's not. And then Korkmaz has been really struggling as well. Like his shot just all of a sudden looks like Markelle Fultz. So
no.
Yeah, it is like 8th grade girls basketball right now.
Oh no.
Wow,
Yeah.
shot at
Yeah.
8th grade girls. Dude, Trista's coming for everybody today.
Today, just
Watch.
a little tired, just shooting from the hip here, like girls basketball.
It's all good. Wow. Go enjoy the tournament.
I will,
Take
guys.
some notes on Duke and report back to us.
Oh,
'cause we're
Paolo
probably gonna
Banchero,
need
you
him.
better get him some deodorant out there in Sacramento.
Oh,
Right, wait a minute.
I've
What?
heard, yeah.
Yes, you heard about his sweating problem. He sweats so profusely, he needs to get rehydrated
Oh my.
in the
Sweats like-
second half.
You know what we say out here? Sweats like Patrick Ewing.
Sweats like Patrick Ewing. You need to get him some like special secret deodorant or like an IV treatment after.
We'll just Trista might not get this, but we'll just link them up with Kenny Thomas and they can figure it out together.
Oh, no.
We'll get them going together. Trista, we appreciate you so much. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Everywhere this RNBC.